Joining us now is Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, who is the governor there in that state where you've just had that spirited debate. And
That's
Governor,
right.
thank you so much for joining us. What did you make of the vice president's performance?
I thought she did great. And by the way, I have to say thank you for putting people from Bucks County on TV. It's where my wife grew up. It was great to hear from them. But I thought the vice president did a great job, both laying out her vision and also prosecuting the case against Donald Trump, showing the clear contrast, particularly on the issue of abortion and the fundamental freedom for women to be able to make decisions over their own bodies. I think she exposed the former president for being kind of nonsensical and unhinged and sort of baited him into doing what he normally does, which is speaking in conspiracy theory tones. I mean, he is someone who really seems to not have any kind of vision for the future and is just focused on sort of the silliness of the past, settling old scores, and a whole bunch of wacky conspiracy theories.
Governor, as a prosecutor yourself, the former attorney general, how would you describe the strategy that the vice president employed? When asked a question, she would answer it, but then she would quickly pivot and almost bait Donald Trump into speaking about another issue. She did it on everything from the border, on immigration. She did it on crowd size. How would you talk about and how she used that strategy effectively?
Well, look, as a former prosecutor, I know an easy mark when I see one. And part of the reason why you can sort of bait Donald Trump into this stuff, whether it's on crowd sizes or something else, it's because Donald Trump is only focused on himself. And so when you entice him that way to talk about himself, instead of talking about the American people and how he's going to help them, it's something that we've come to know is just part of his problem. He's focused on himself. He's not focused on the future of trying to help the American people.
I also want to ask you about some of the other foreign policy issues that came up during the debate. The question was asked on Ukraine. Twice Donald Trump was asked a simple answer in the words of the moderator. He said, would the war be over if you were president of the United States? He couldn't answer that question. Then Kamala responded by saying, well, yeah, it would be over because Donald Trump would just give up. How did you rate those different questions on foreign policy?
Yeah, I thought she handled herself really well on foreign policy, and all Donald Trump did was say, well, it would have never happened this way and never would have happened that way, and offered absolutely no concrete evidence for that. What we do know, and I thought Kamala Harris prosecuted this case effectively, is that Trump would just give Putin and give Russia exactly what they want and would make that entire region less stable, would put NATO at extraordinary risk, NATO countries and our allies at extraordinary risk. And so I think what she did there was really, really effective.
Pennsylvania, I don't have to tell you, is the nation's second largest producer of natural gas. Do you think the vice president did enough tonight to convince voters in your state that she won't ban fracking? That is something she said she was in favor of in 2019.
Yes. And let me tell you something, Norah. I'm an all-of-the-above energy governor. I understand just how critical jobs in the natural gas industry are here in this Commonwealth, particularly for our building trades in the southwestern part of our state and elsewhere. And Kamala Harris made clear that she's going to be an all-of-the-above energy president. She understands the important role those energy jobs play here in Pennsylvania. And she also, I thought, made a really important point. For all of Donald Trump's bluster about energy, you know what? Under the Biden-Harris administration, we're producing more domestic energy than ever before in this nation, which strengthens our economy and it strengthens our national security. And I have confidence that she'll continue that.
Governor Josh Shapiro, thank you for your time.